Have you ever found yourself contemplating why, when I'm doing everything right in regards to my food, my exercise, but the scale will not budge? What if I told you it's not just about the calories in, calories out? Maybe there's something in your environment that is preventing you from losing weight, especially in your midsection. That's what we're going to talk about today. Endocrine disrupting chemicals, what they are, where they are hiding, how they contribute to weight loss resistance in midlife, and what you can do about it. So let's start with, what are these things? Endocrine disrupting chemicals are toxins that disrupt our hormone function. They can mimic hormones like estrogen. They can block hormone receptors like insulin, making us more insulin resistant, and they can disrupt how we make, metabolize, and clear hormones from our body. So where do we find these things? They are ubiquitous. They are everywhere. We are all toxic. There's no way around it, but we're going to talk about what can we do about it, because there are things we can do. That's the good news. So some of the common places that midlife women are going to find these endocrine disrupting chemicals are in personal care products. In fact, the average woman is exposed to well over 185 unique chemicals in over 12 products used on a daily basis. You're probably wondering, where the heck is that coming from? Think about what you use on your hair. Shampoo, conditioner, maybe gel or mousse, spray, hair color. Then on your skin, skincare products, sunscreen, cosmetics. We even think about oral care products that we use. We also find it in plastics and food packaging. So the plastics can be in those hard reusable plastic bottles or in the disposable soft bottles. And especially in the hard bottles, I have a lot of clients say, but it says BPA free. Any type of hard plastic is going to have bisphenols, which is one of these endocrine disrupting chemicals. If it doesn't use BPA, it's using a derivative like BPF or BPS, which disrupts our hormones metabolism just the same. Also food packaging. So think about all the wraps that our food comes in. Think about even takeout containers, microwave popcorn bags, pizza boxes, the linings. You can even think about can linings. So in beverages and in canned foods, that lining has hormone disrupting chemicals. Household products, everything you use to clean your home, including your dishes and your laundry. And think about the fabrics that are used in our upholstery, so our furniture, but also for our own clothing. Wrinkle-free, stain-free, water resistant. Sounds wonderful, right? Well, they have to use chemicals to do that. A lot of fresheners. So think about any type of air freshener is going to have these toxic chemicals. And then in the environment. So when we think about the environment, we have to think back. Where did we grow up? Did we grow up on a farm or close to a farm or a golf course? Those are two areas that are heavily pesticide use, are using heavy pesticide use. Also, in regards to what you use or your neighbors use on your own gardens and lawns. So even though you may not use it, if your neighbors do, it doesn't stay in their yard, unfortunately. Between the ground, especially when it rains, things travel, or the air, it's going to move. We're also going to see it in our water. So especially tap water has a lot of toxic chemicals in it. And our food supply. So our food supply is using pesticides and chemicals and herbicides to grow these crops fast and vast. All right. So that's the bad news, right? But there's good news, because there's always healthier alternatives to those things. And we'll talk about the top 3 in just a minute. So how does this affect us in midlife? Well, when we are exposed to these endocrine disrupting chemicals, they love to be stored in fatty tissue. We're already gaining fat in midlife, so they are hanging out in our fat stores, and they can even cause us to gain more fat cells so that we can store more fat. And this is why they're also called obesogens, because they increase our risk of obesity. We also have the insulin resistance. Remember I said how they can block hormone receptors like insulin. So when they make us more insulin resistant, that's a metabolic dysfunction. We already know that we're 2 to 3 times more likely to have insulin resistance in midlife. Well, that exposure to toxins also happens. For me, I became pre-diabetic in menopause, and it was because of mold toxins. That's what I found out in regards to my own body. And so I had to embark on a plan to get rid of that mold and get out of that pre-diabetes range and actually see the scale move, because I did have that second freshman 15 as well. We also have more sluggish detox pathways. So our gut and our liver, two major organs of detox, just aren't working as efficiently and effectively in midlife as they did earlier in our years. So this really all comes down to what's called body burden. What are we exposed to, and how well are our organs of detox functioning? So what do we do about this? It's not about perfection. We cannot be 100% toxic free. It is impossible. As I mentioned, these toxins are ubiquitous. Even if we're not personally using them, we're still going to be exposed in other ways because of maybe our neighbors or where we live. So we have to just think about reducing that burden on our body. So the top three in regards to what can we reduce our exposure to are plastics. So wherever you can, swap plastic for glass or stainless in the case of refillable bottles, or in the case of like you're at home, just use a regular glass or a ball mason jar instead of the reusable plastic bottles or disposable plastic bottles. Same with storage, food storage. Use glass storage instead of your plastic storage. And even like if you can buy more bulk and then transfer it to ball mason jars and store it in your fridge or your freezer, now we have less of that plastic wrapping from our foods. Go fragrance free. So fragrance includes endocrine disrupting chemicals. So as long as it's fragrance free, we don't have that access. And then stay organic with food, because when you get organic food, it's pesticide free, it's herbicide free. So get organic as much as you can. Now, what about the detox pathways? Because we have to reduce that burden. So we want to decrease our exposure, but we also need to support our organs of detox. So ways that we can do that is to support our liver is let's get more protein. So 25-35 grams of protein per meal, depending on your size. Those amino acids that make up your protein drive the liver detox pathways. So we need to make sure we're getting proper protein. In this case for detox, but we also need protein for so many other reasons. Get our fiber. So at least 30 grams of fiber a day. You don't need to go above 50. I would even say don't go above 40 because that can bind some critical minerals. But more fiber, more water, we keep the gut flowing. Because if we are not eliminating our bowels every single day, that's a good way to get rid of our waste. Where is that waste going? Right back into the body to challenge the liver. Also, think about your kidneys are another organ of detox. It needs water to help filter and flush. So make sure you're getting half of your body weight in ounces of water daily and filter it. So depending on what toxins are in your water, whether it's well or tap, you have carbon filtration, reverse osmosis filtration, distillation. There are many different ways that you can filter your water. And also reducing that alcohol, because alcohol is going to challenge the liver. So if you can do more water, less alcohol. So your body is designed to detoxify. It just needs the right support. And if this topic intrigues you, because it is one of those kind of under the surface type of topics, we don't really think about it. We don't really know about the exposures and how it impacts our body, especially in midlife where we're more vulnerable. Sign up for my 12-week menopause transformation program. So it runs once a quarter and it's a 12-week program. We do dive deep into this very topic where we've got 2 educational sessions dedicated to the toxins in our environment and how to properly detoxify and reduce that body burden. Or if you're interested in just getting your toxins tested, we can do that too. So drop me a note below and we can dive in. I'm happy to help. This is one of those areas that we just have to become more aware of and understand what is is challenging our body at this stage in life. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.